so weird after all.
That's what they say. Yeah, that's what they say.
I think the rest of the world caught up to us. It's like you do it for long enough and people copy it, and then after a while, it's like it becomes the norm. So I don't know where to go.
That's our dirty little secret.
Yeah.
Ooh, that you were trendsetters.
We get all our weirdness out on stage, I think, and then we're cool, calm, and collected. But
and you really do on stage. You're such a showman. Yeah. You put your heart and soul, all of you, put your heart and soul into it. You can see every moment. It's really intense.
Thank you. Thank you.
And is that something that you always felt like you needed to do for yourself, not for anything else?
Yes, it was youthful exuberance sort of set the bar, and anything less is not what we do. So, unfortunately, we're stuck with this attack, as it were.
It may get a little more tiring as the years go on, but it's effective.
But as I was telling Bruce, I used to drink about a 6-pack of beer, and I don't do that now. Yeah. After the tour, I'll have my vino.
Yeah,
that's it. Just nice, quiet.
I think once the adrenaline hits you on stage, you just forget about all your aches and breaks and all the show before, and it goes away, and you just go right back into it.
Exactly, and then once you're done, it's like, oh gosh, I forgot that hurts.
Oh yeah, yes. We give us a couple weeks, and we'll be on Motrin and every other kind of anti-inflammatory.
I love a good nap.
And you were one of LA's first punk bands, and from what I recall reading, is your first gig, and maybe I remember reading this quite some time ago, so I apologize. Your first gig had no drummer?
That's right. We did 3 shows without a drummer.
Okay.
Peter Case of a band called The Nerves heard us in a rehearsal studio, and he only heard us through the wall. He was convinced we had a drummer, and he came in and said, "You guys want to do a show?" We said, "We're just starting. We don't have a drummer." He said, "What?" I was convinced, but we had a wall of noise, and he made us an offer we couldn't refuse, and it was a little silly to do that, but we jumped in feet first, or head first, or
however it was.
I think that used to happen much more often than you'd think. I mean, when my first show with Wall of Voodoo didn't have a drummer either. We had a rhythm machine, but no drummer.
Okay.
Well, we were also motivated by we knew that no other band in L.A. so-called we considered ourselves weirdos, not punks.
Okay.
So we adopted that later when we kind of relented, but it was actually we were motivated by the fact that there was a band called the Screamers who were rumored to have a gig coming up, and we thought we're gonna bum rush them, and do a show, be the first band.
Punk show.
Yes, so that was our motivation.
There was a race, sort of a race. There was a bit of a race back then to get up there first. Yeah.
Screamers had no guitars.
Yeah.
So
no guitars, yeah.
ever, but
No guitars, no drummer.
Yeah.
You guys now you have a drummer.
Yeah.
It works. It works.
So it was really premature. We had no business being on a stage, but
But it worked. And here you are.
41 years
I was
later.
just trying to figure out. I knew
Now
it was
I
over
want to take
40.
a nap. When I hear, like,
Shh, we'll pretend it wasn't 40. It was 21 years ago. 21. That's it. We're all
Yeah.
much younger now. It works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. None of this
Yeah.
gray hair stuff. played every kind of venue you could imagine. Big ones, small ones, festivals. You've played Rebellion this year, and you just played a tiny little room.
Yes.
Which do you prefer playing?
Personally, I prefer the smaller, tight, compact venue.
Yeah. It's the Rebellion Festival we play at the Opera House, and some of the venues we play aren't as big as the stage we were on. So it was you want to send a carrier pigeon over to the guitar player to ask him what the next song is.
The chords weren't even long enough to get out to the edge of the stage.
Oh
Yeah.
my!
I knew we were in trouble. The Rebellion sent us an email about a week before, said make sure your leads are at least 20 foot long because you can't even get to the front of the stage. I didn't even know that they set the monitors 10 feet back from the stage, and you can't even get to the monitors with the 20-foot lead. It's crazy big, the opera stage.
That's kind of, yeah.
Our style of music really isn't suited for a big voluminous room. It's
No.
just not. There's not enough air in the songs to.
I wouldn't say that, but you get right in people's faces. You
Yeah.
like that
I need
interaction. Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah.
We like that.
With all the instruments, so we want to get right in their faces, right in their heads, and play to them. On something like that, it's more like being on a sound in a studio in a sound booth, and you're kind of separated from each other. And you get real self-conscious about everything you play, and you're just like, ooh, I'm hearing myself too much here, and not everybody else. So
That would be a very
yeah,
weird situation,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
yeah.
So do you think that you'll go back to Rebellion if you're asked again?
Absolutely. We talked about actually asking them if they could put us in a smaller room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Most
would
bands
be.
want a bigger room, but
I think you probably would love their introducing stage, actually.
yes, yeah. That tiny little stage.
No, I like it though. It's like you go up the ladder, and then it's like, okay, we've been here. We want to go back down the ladder.
To go where those
It's
beginners
a lot more
are.
fun, and it's a lot more. You connect with the people a lot more. I think the whole experience would be a lot better for us as a band to be able to connect with the audience more. It's a better experience for us and maybe for them too.
And that's really what you're about, connecting with your audience through the music, through your interactions.
It's not for the
That's
money, that's for sure.
No, not in punk. And that, to me, is beautiful. I thank you guys for being there and doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you kindly.
What's next for the band?
Glasgow. We're going to Glasgow.
Not too bad. Impressed?
And a record.
Yes.
We've already recorded an album, except for the vocals aren't finished yet, but we've got pretty much there. It may be an EP first, but it's going to be out soon.
Okay. Next 6 months, maybe, or
Maybe we'll release one song very soon, and then another one, and it's something like along that line. A little you know how they do it these days. You know how the kids do. We'll release one song, and tease you, make you get on their YouTube account, and Instagram, and crap, and then you give them another one.
and then they have to buy the album.
Then they have to buy the album. Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing. People should be buying your albums. So.
Yes.
And where can people buy your albums?
Well, anywhere they sell Frontier Records, distribute Frontier Records. I think any of your punk record shops throughout the world that distribute them, and probably I would imagine eBay and Amazon and all that stuff too.
All good local punk shops.
Yeah.
I think Frontier's actually a BMG.
Oh, BMG.
Yeah, so we're
So it's
Well
pretty widely
distributed.
covered, yes. Yeah. I would like to thank you guys for taking time, getting right off of stage, talk to us. Much, much appreciated.
Thank you kindly.
And I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, YouTube world.